Hello, Andy. Hello, Tor. How are you?
Hi EJ, how are you? Lovely to meet you.
Lovely to
Hi,
meet
very
you. I'm very excited to talk about this film with you all because I enjoyed Sacrifice so much.
Oh, brilliant. Very glad to hear that.
that
Now,
gets the interview off to a good start.
yes. I will say this movie includes so much of what I love. Water deities, it has cults in it, but it also has Barbara Crampton. What brought you to bring all these elements together? I'll start with you, Andy.
Okay. Um, we started off adapting a short story, which was folk horror, but not Cthulhu based.
Mhm.
And then Tor, due to a family connection, being his mum's Norwegian, thought it would be good to separate it from the Wicker Man, which I think was a good idea, by taking it out of the UK. And then when we looked at Norway, it was very, very wet. And each draft just got more and more Lovecraftian. And then when we finished drafting, it was extremely Lovecraftian. Originally, Barbara's character was a man. And originally we had, our dream casting would be James Cosmo, but somebody, I can't remember who, may have been Tora, may have been Sean, just thought that Barbara would be perfect given, well, she's a great actress and given her long Lovecraftian history. So that's why.
Oh, absolutely. I think there is something to it. And Tor, what brought you in with your family background as well, from what I've heard?
So my mum's, well, half my family is actually from Norway.
Hmm.
And as Andy pointed out, I mean, we can't be disingenuous and say there aren't similarities between this film and The Wicker Man.
Hmm.
So very cynically, we thought, okay, how do we differentiate ourselves from this classic British movie? Almost every other British low budget British horror film is set in the Scottish countryside, to be honest. So we thought we just can't do that. There are surface similarities to The Wicker Man. So where can we relocate? What will feed in, one, to the Lovecraftian element of the piece, and also what will just differentiate ourselves from the traditional British folk horror setting. And Norway immediately sprang to mind because I'm very familiar with the place, as that's where my mum's side of my family's from. And also we thought it really feels suitable in terms of the cosmic Lovecraftian element, in that I don't know if you've ever visited Norway or Scandinavia in general, but it's very scenic, very ethereal. The Northern Lights play a big role in this film, and therefore obviously Norway is not the only place that has the Northern Lights, but they're very prominent in Norway. And so yeah, it just felt right. And also, to be perfectly honest with you, at the time we thought there aren't very many horror films set in Western horror films set in Norway, even though everyone in Norway speaks English. And then, of course, Midsummer was released just as we started filming. So it went from, oh, this is going to be really original to, fuck.
Yeah, well,
bad timing. Maybe we should have said it in Scotland in the first place.
Yeah, there were two films that got announced or released as we were shooting. One was Midsummer, which gave us pause, but I think Midsummer, it follows the Wicker Man aesthetic more closely in that it's really bright and sunny like the Wicker Man. So I think the fact that we weren't helps. And the other unhappy accident was the Color Out of Space. Because we had the original idea of using really eerie kind of pink and purple lighting throughout, and you'll see some of that in the film, but originally it was much stronger. And then when the Color Out of Space came out, we thought, oh, I'm sure they'll be different. And then when we saw the trailer, we were just about to grade the film, and we was, oh no! so basically, Holstein, who did the grading, he spent most of the time taking out the purple and lilac and pink lighting, so it didn't look like some kind of asylum mockbuster out of the Color Out of Space.
We even had to change the title at the last minute. Originally, it was called The Color of Madness. But yeah, in the end, we thought it was too similar to The Color Out of Space.
Well, clearly, the original title was a mashup of The Color Out of Space and In the Mountains of Madness, which I think.
Yeah.
I think you guys made it very original, and it feels like its own thing. Also, it makes me want to see Norway more than Midsummer made me want to see anywhere else. So you're helping tourism there a little bit. This also is from what I've seen, your second feature film together. What brought you to as filmmakers? Because you guys speak each other's cinematic language, it seems. What helps that? Like, what brought that bond together?
I'll answer that initially. That's quite easy. I think what drew us together many years ago was our mutual love of the biggest flop in cinema history, which is The 13th Warrior. I think Andy was the only person I ever met in my life that appreciated the 13th Warrior to the same degree as I did. And then ever since that moment, I think we've been on a mission to make the biggest flop in cinema history, and that's coming. I'm confident that will happen one day. We will dethrone the 13th Warrior as the biggest flop in cinema history. But
yeah, and actually, the first thing that we worked on together was the 17th Kind, if you remember, and I was very happy that Tony Curran, from many things, 13th Warrior was actually the lead in that. So I just spent the entire shooting time doing 13th Warrior quotes in a normal.
Well, that was essentially the only reason the 17th Kind got made, wasn't it? So yeah. You could work with Tony Curran from the 13th Warrior.
And you.
Well, someone who appreciates cinematic flops, like Showgirls is one of my favorite movies. I respect that a lot. So I'm always curious with these co-directing credits. Is there a scene that Andy works on while Toor's doing another scene, or is it a true collaborative effort where you two are just working on a scene together? I'm always curious of how that works.
Do you want me to answer that one? It's collaborative, and we spend a lot of time beforehand talking about shots and style, and we wrote the script together, and we kind of wrote the script thinking about how we'd shoot it, and films we've co-directed, we divided duties. Like on the first one, against both our better judgments, Toor was also assistant director, and then he realized that was not really doable. Ooh. And then on this film, I did the cinematography. And so I was really kind of, although we agreed what we were going to do, I was looking after visuals and he was looking after the actors largely. Mm-hmm. We did swap over, and the reason I did the cinematography was that we probably spent 8 months doing the most detailed shot list and then working out this really original color scheme that we had to abandon. And then when we finished, we realized we'd have to spend another 6 months drawing some really complicated storyboards to get what we wanted, and I think we were too lazy to do that. So I actually bought like a really high-tech storyboarding piece of software, and then realized that would take 2 months to learn. So we decided to do the cinematography instead to make life a lot easier up to the shoot. But during the shoot, it was awful. But up to the shoot, we saved ourselves a lot of annoying work drawing storyboards.
Well, that's just
Sorry.
What were you going to say, Toor?
I was just going to reiterate what Andy was saying about a lot of work in terms of how me and Andy collaborate is done in pre-production. Mm-hmm. So we make sure we're completely on the same page with everything in terms of where we want the performance to go in terms of the visual style. And most importantly, the general tone of the film. And then during the actual shoots, in terms of the last one, because Andy was also the cinematographer, he essentially handled the cinematography team, and I handled the actors, and that meant all the actors hated me, but loved Andy, and the AD really hated Andy, but was I guess indifferent to me. So
that sounds like an AD.
An
AD's job is to hate the cinematographer. Now, I will say in this film, Emma has such horrifying dreams, and they are very surreal and very strange. Do any of you guys suffer from weird nightmares like that? Did you pull from any inspirations? Because they were pretty creepy, and I will say you guys capture that really well. What about you, Andy?
I think that just came from warped imagination. I don't remember having any dreams like those. We spent a lot of time on the visuals, like the pregnancy thing. Where did that come from, Toor?
Well, I guess given I'm approaching that age, or to be honest, I've passed that age. I definitely have a completely not irrational, completely rational fear of birth and pregnancy, and children in general. So maybe that's where it's coming from ultimately.
Yeah, that one dream where she's pulling out, it was so good. It gave me that creepy edge that was so perfect. Now, I will like to say, to wrap this up, I always like to figure out what you guys are doing next. Is there anything in the works? Because I think Sacrifice is a must-see for genre fans. Are you guys going to keep making horror movies like this?
Well, after you, Andy.
We've got a slate of various genre things. The two most likely, I think, or close to completion, if somebody wants to give us money, we've got what I guess is horror, which is kind of a coming of age serial killer, supernatural, zombie, western.
I love every word you said.
and then another film which is like for a few dollars more with Vikings.
Oh, wow. That is a great elevator pitch there. That is amazing.
That's the one that's going to be one of the biggest flops of all time. The 13th Warrior influence.
The 13th Warrior without cavemen.
Well, that sounds amazing. I think those are going to be some amazing, entertaining films. You guys have crafted a great film here. So thank you so much for speaking with me today. I am so excited for everyone to get to see this film.
Thank you so much, EJ. Lovely to meet you.
Lovely to meet you guys. Have a good day.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Take care.